Hello, I'm Danny De Hek, aka the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. You know, I'm here to bust anyone promoting a Ponzi scheme or a scam. Well, about a month ago, I had an accident in my car. Well, I didn't have an accident. I actually had someone run their car into the back of mine in a merging lane. And now I'm finding myself in a battle with an insurance company. And what I'm going to do with this video is actually ring up the chief guy who's in charge of my case. So I've been corresponding with one guy, and now I've been asked to put him through to the manager. Even though the police said it was inconclusive who actually theoretically caused the accident, they said the insurance company have actually deemed that they believe it's my fault and I failed to merge. So what I've done, I've got the video here, and I've been minding my own business on the way to work. And if you look at the video here, you can actually see that there's quite a big gap on the car on the left. And then I'm actually waiting to merge with a car that you can just barely see on the right. So let's carry on for a little bit. So you can see, anyone in their right mind can see that I am planning to get to the end of the merging lane and merge with the guy that I'm about to tuck in behind. There's no vehicle there. We're about 3 white spaces. And now I'm coming along here and I'm about to merge. This is the end of the merging lane, and that person, oh no, there's one more white dot. So I've moved over because I have the right of way to merge. And then what you won't hear is after 2 seconds after that happened, he decided to drive his car into mine and then get out of the car, open my car door, and try to cause me a whole lot of harm. I drove off. We had a chase around the streets of Christchurch for 10 minutes, and then he must have leaned out the window of his car with some sort of crowbar and smashed out my back window. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to telephone the insurance company because we've prepared a PDF. Actually, I lie. We've prepared a PDF of every stage of the accident, which you can't see, which you should be able to see there now. And we've gone through everything, and I'm going to ask the guy to go through this with me and see why they won't pay my excess of $500. So let's have a ring and see if I can call them in the background while we're waiting to get our phone call returned. I want you to have a look at this mission statement here. We're just going to get it read to us.
Our purpose is to provide all the customers with quality products, leading-edge technology, and superior service. Our vision is to see Protecta Insurance develop a range of distribution channels in addition to our core business in the motor and finance industries. To achieve this goal, we will review our online capability for all our customers. We will continue to produce quality products and develop further our brand through innovative marketing campaigns. Our success will also depend on our ability to add value to all our key relationships, customers, and suppliers. We will continue to build a rewarding workplace where our team is inspired to achieve and who are continually challenged by our ongoing commitment towards performance and growth and in developing a fully turnkey operation.
Oh, it sounds great so far. Wish I did my due diligence before I used this insurance company. This has been going on for a month now.
Our values. We are committed to supplying products and services to meet all of our customers' needs. Our team strives to provide a service which is second to none, in line with our core operating values, which include...
Think about that for a second. Second to none. What does that mean? That means this is the best. Their aim is to be the best insurance company in New Zealand. Second to none.
Loyalty. We must recognise the special relationship that has been built up over time with each customer by treating each person in a courteous and helpful manner.
Now, I got terrorised driving around the streets of Christchurch, had my puppy in the car sitting on the passenger seat. I explained all this to them. I provided video evidence of me driving to work that morning. And for 10 minutes before I got to the intersection where I collided, you can see that I'm a passive driver and I was given away and I was just minding my own business. And the guy that collided with me didn't, sideswipe me because I didn't give way. He backed back and hit me in the back of my bumper. Also, I've been paying $120 a month for full insurance. Now, the vehicle I had beforehand was also a Suzuki Sport. And I had that car for 11 months and it was parked on the side of the road. And I'm in a doctor's surgery and I hear this big smash. And I see this Santa Fe Elite going down the road literally on 2 wheels. And all the airbags had gone off. And I thought, I better go out and see what's happening because that was one hell of a bang. Wonder what he hit. And it just so happened to be my car. At the time, I was insured with state insurance. And they said to me that how old was the car? And I said 11 months old. And they said they were going to pay out $23,000 for this car. Now I'd paid, I think it was 32, maybe 34,000 for the car 9 months earlier. So it was a big knock. And I said, well, if you can replace my car for 23,000, one that's got 20,000 Ks on the clock, please give me the vehicle and just bring it to me. I'd like one the same color, please. The car they were comparing mine to was an imported car from Japan. So it wasn't like for like. Anyway, they decided to give me $25,000. So I still weren't happy because I'd lost $7,000 in a short period of time. And a lot of insurance companies claim that if your vehicle is less than 12 months and it's going to be written off, they won't pay you out. They'll provide you a brand new vehicle. So then I got a phone call from the insurance company saying they've been reading the policy that I signed. And they said that is your car less than 12 months old? And I went, yes. And they said, well, we've got some good news. Because your car is less than 12 months old and it's been deemed as totaled, we will provide you a brand new car and we're going to deliver it with a bow on. I thought, wow, that's a big turnaround after 2 weeks of battling. And also working with a panel beater who was obviously trying to show that my car was not fixable under the 65% cost of the vehicle to fix policy, whatever that is. Anyway, then they rang me back and they asked me if I had any finance on the vehicle. And I said, yes, I do. And they said, oh, that's interesting because the policy doesn't pay out for a new vehicle if there's finance available on the vehicle still. It only applies to people with no finance. So somebody walked in there with $32,000 or $34,000 and bought a vehicle cash and got it fully insured with state insurance, and if it got crashed into and it looked like it was going to be written off and it was only 12 months old, they would pay out by giving you a brand new vehicle, no questions asked. But because I had finance on the vehicle, it didn't apply. So I said cheekily, how many people have you actually paid out on that policy with? And they said 1. Now I live in New Zealand, 5 million people, and they've only ever paid out, they probably have a million people on their books, and they've only paid out 1 vehicle, and that's the case. And I thought that was ridiculous. So after that, I said to Holland Suzuki, the people I got my vehicle from, state insurance are just shockers. And they said, look, why don't you use Protecta insurance, because they give you total peace of mind. And also, if you look at their loyalty and look at the way they treat their customers, they recommended me to them. Now, I'm not saying that Holland Suzuki is any which way involved in what's happening with Protecta insurance. However, they did believe, as I did, that they provided a premium service. And going by what their website says, we must recognise the special relationship that has been built up over time with each customer by treating each person in a courteous, helpful manner. Now, I got terrorised by being chased around the streets by a guy in a BMW, a 2008 BMW. He was like he was on crack. You can watch the whole video on my video. It was an ordeal. I had my puppy sitting beside me. Every time he goes in the front seat now, he shakes. He's scared. He's only 11 months old, 13 months old. And it's just a shame. Now, I didn't cause this accident. I did hold my ground and I did merge like you were meant to. The guy, they even said that the guy nearly got in front of me, which means I didn't have to yield to him because I was in front. But that's not good enough. The police said that they couldn't deem whose fault it really was, but the insurance company have now said that they believe that I am the one that may have caused the accident. That's what they're alleging. Now, we're talking about $500 here. Over the last 3 years, I've actually paid this insurance company $120 a month, which is over $4,000 worth of money. They have pissed me off. I've spent $500 just writing back and forth to these people. We're talking about $500. Why don't I pay it? Well, I'm a loyal customer. I've been with them for 3 years. I'm paying $20 extra a month than I would if I was with state insurance because I'm paying for a premium, hassle-free service. And this is their integrity.
We must negotiate in all matters of business fairly and above all with honest intent.
Honest intent. What type of honest intent are you guys having?
We must develop quality products and service that exceed the expectations of our customers.
So I put together this PDF I didn't put it together. A friend of mine put it together for me. And we went through every aspect of the incident. And there's no evidence Danny moved into the other lane before the merging lane ended.
There is no evidence Danny has moved into the other lane prior to the end of the lanes.
Right.
B. There is no evidence, if Danny had done so, that this made an accident inevitable.
Inedible. I can't even say it now. But, did me moving into my rightful position cause the accident? The answer to that is no.
C. The other driver knew Danny was about to merge and attempted earlier to deny Danny the opportunity to do so.
The guy that was coming up behind me, did he not see that I was merging? Did he not know he was on a merging lane? The police said this guy's been terrorising people all around Christchurch. They know who he is, and he's basically as good as arrested. They're going to put a APP out for his arrest. They said they've got oodles of information on him. They brought around pictures so I could identify him. They got me to sign an affidavit explaining what was happening. And they said, we know what the insurance company is like. Is this how the insurances work these days?
D. The other driver at no stage moved ahead of Danny's vehicle, so Danny was not obliged to merge behind that vehicle.
No, I never had to give way. I had the right to be where I were.
E. When the car both vehicles were following moved away, only Danny moves ahead, thus being entitled to believe the other vehicle had given him right of way.
That's right. The guy did not warn me that he was going to cut me off, or did he try to push back? I don't know. And here we go. Here's some other facts. Danny moves forward to merge, so I'll get these highlighted in red.
F. As Danny moves forward to merge, he 1. Does so moving ahead of the car to his right, 2. Does so at slow speed, 3. Does so by moving right at a passive angle, 4. Does so allowing a reasonable following distance from car in front.
Yep.
In other words, he is not placing his car aggressively or otherwise into a situation which causes the other driver with no option but to hit Danny's car.
So, bear that the next one is very important.
Note, the collision occurs well in the single lane, beyond where the two lanes merge.
Right, so we're out of the merging lane when the collision happened. And here's some other factors that are breathtaking. Well, I believe they are.
G. The other driver has 1. Let Danny move ahead of him, 2. Seen Danny move ahead and position his car to merge, 3. Seen Danny's car and its direction for at least 2 seconds because 4. Signalled this by his horn use, 5. Driven at a slower speed than Danny, less than 3 to 5 miles per hour indicated on the video, allowing Danny's car to be 3/4 1 car length ahead, and then 6. Accelerated or changed direction seemingly purposefully to create an impact with Danny's car, all at very slow speed.
So just to go back to that video, if we go back to, the part where the guy merges, so we should get it about here. You listen to the crash. So I'm in front of the guy. I'm out of the passing lane. Hit my car. He tooted and then hit my car. And now he thinks he's in the wrong. He aggressively gets out of the car. And I think if he's crazy enough to drive into me, I'm not standing here.
You hit me.
And now, I didn't have my door locked.
You hit me.
He opens my car door.
Yeah, okay.
I thought he was going to punch me. He's still hanging onto my door. So, it's just absolutely crazy. And then way at the very end, I think he back streets, police station. Is it Papenhue Road? Is this where he does? I think it is. Just before. And
Smash my back window. So he's trying to come up beside me now. And he just smashed my back window.
So that second part of the video, I don't think we need to dispute whose fault that was. But no, the insurance company says that I was at fault I somehow caused this guy to chase me around the streets of Christchurch, and they don't want to pay my $500 excess. But not only that, I mean, wouldn't you want to keep a customer happy?
I do not believe. Do you believe that a reasonable person would conclude that Danny's actions made this accident inevitable? Take into account the video footage and actions of the other driver, prior to merging, immediately prior to the collision and post-collision. If Danny was frustrated, I would suggest this would be a normal response having encountered this situation.
Of course.
Watching the video in slow motion and normal speed illustrates Danny had reason to believe he was being allowed to merge. He had reason to believe the car to his right, who was at best parallel, as agreed by Protecta Insurance in a previous email, but not ahead of him, and which did not immediately move forward when the car they were following moved, was now allowing Danny to merge. This collision was either incompetence or a deliberate act. How can we tell?
Right, we're up to Jay. This is great information. Thank you to my no-name friend called Rob.
Jay, the incident as a whole suggests a deliberate act. The driver attempted to deny Danny room to merge, seems to drive purposefully into Danny's car, speeds around Danny to cut him off, approaches Danny's vehicle delivering verbal abuse and opens Danny's door, pursues Danny's for at least 10 minutes, go through red lights and drives at speed. Eventually, catches a stationary vehicle and causes damage to the rear window. These actions show the context and give clues as to the mindset and capabilities of the other driver.
That's right.
Danny is the victim of road rage, and finally, KDNZ police, having seen the video, have not charged Danny with a driving offence. They do not believe NZTA rules were breached.
Yeah, so if the police were deeming that I were acting irresponsibly, then why haven't they charged me? In fact, they've come around and asked me to sign an affidavit, and so they can grab the other guy and lock him up. They reckon he's going to do jail time because he's got lots of other things he's doing as well, and this is what builds the case. But in the meantime, this guy's still out on the streets.
I urge Protecta to review this decision given. A police decision no driving offence was committed by Danny. B. The context and facts outlined above. The amount involved compared to premiums paid. B. Danny's exemplary customer record and goodwill. Danny De Hek.
So if you're living by your mission statements, your visions, your values, your loyalties, your integrity, the quality, the reliability, and the communication that you guys provide, then why are you guys going after me? So I did a bit of research about Protecta, and they have this company here is their underwriter.
Virginia Surety Company,
Don't know who they are.
Incorporated.
However, I'm going to go to the Ombudsman, and I'm also going to go to small claims. I'm refusing to pay this. If the police charge me for reckless driving or careless driving, then that would be a reason to deny me of paying my excess. I remember I had another accident in my V8. It was 6 weeks old, and I had this guy do a U-turn in front of me, and it caused $15 worth of damage, and that was with state insurance as well. And they said, oh, because the other guy hasn't been charged and it's in dispute. And I said, what? And they said, yeah, it's in dispute. We're not going to pay you $750 excess. And I said, it's not dispute. And so the guy said that you didn't have his headlights on. I said, but at the time of the accident, I had a witness who saw the whole accident because I had a shiny new Holden and they were in a Holden. They stopped and gave me their details, and they said, if you need a witness, here's our details. And I submitted that to you guys, and that's proof that I did have my headlights on because they would have said otherwise. Anyway, 2 years later, I went back to state and I said, did you ever manage to get the money back from the guy that you claimed didn't admit liability to my accident? Oh, yes, we did, Mr. De Hek. Oh, sorry, there's $750 that we've had of your money for the last 2 years that we didn't pay you. What's your bank account number? We'll put it in there today. I thought, oh my goodness. And then I've carried on with state insurance for a long time, and now I've got sick of dealing with state, and I thought I would deal with Protecta. Well, what a great experience I'm having so far with this insurance company. Are insurance companies scams? That is the question. Look, I'm going to leave this on pause, and hopefully when we come back, we'll have a phone call with Jeremy from Protecta Insurance. Right, thanks for giving us a call.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've just, before we got started, I was actually just been reading through your website, and I'm reading your mission, your vision, our values, loyalty, integrity, quality, and reliability. And I'm just sort of wondering where and why I'm not getting, like I'm a loyal customer of yours.
Yeah.
And I think I've paid $120 a month for over 3 years now to insure my car. I were insured with State. My car got written off. And then I had such a runaround with them. I just managed to get enough money to get a new car together. And then I got recommended you guys from Holland Suzuki here in Christchurch. I've bought 3 cars from them. They know me well. And they said that you guys offer a premium service and obviously peace of mind. So I didn't do any due diligence with you guys other than, taking them on face value. And then when I've had this accident, I've provided the evidence of the video myself, which I didn't really have to do. And also I've had the police tell me that they couldn't deem who was at fault technically. And then you guys have come along and said that you have deemed me at fault and are requesting that I pay my $500 excess. But there's also 2 parts of the accident, if you want to call it, where the guy must have hung out his car window and smashed out my back window screen as he was chasing me around the streets of Christchurch. That is not my fault that he did that. So then I've given you a PDF and I've gone through A, B, C, D, E, F, G and all that right through. And I still can't understand why you guys would treat a customer who's been loyal to you guys as per your website and now squabble over $500 when in your own email where they accuse me of not merging like a zip, you said, Thomas's words were that he was nearly in front of me and I should have merged like a zipper when 20 seconds before this guy raced up to try to take my position and not merge like a zipper. You guys have deemed that I were the aggressor and deemed that it is my mistake. And I'm just wondering, is this part of your own terms and conditions where you talk about your loyalty? I'll just read it to you.
We must recognise the special relationship that has been built up over time with each customer by treating each person in a courteous and helpful manner.
Is this helpful? And what about your customer integrity thing?
We must negotiate in all matters of business fairly and above all with honest intent.
So is this honest intent? And is this fairly? By judging that someone who has given you the video, explain what's happened, been 100% truthful, and then some guy which the police actually have, they're going to put an APP out for his arrest. They've got other things that they've had numerous complaints about his driving. And now you're saying that I am the one that caused the accident and I should pay the excess for, so where do you want to go with this?
Okay, so you're not happy that the excess is applying. Okay.
Is this your honest
right?
intent part? Is this,
okay.
Are you being honest?
Are
you honestly saying that to me? Before we get started,
So what
before we get started, mate.
At the moment, Danny, is just clarify that it is the excess that is causing your concern.
What else would it be?
I'm just clarifying with you that is it. I'm just checking that there's nothing else.
What else would it be other than me having to pay the $500
okay,
excess?
So I take from that it is the excess.
That is correct.
Okay, great. Okay. So I've had a look at the video and that you kindly provided. Brilliant. that is very useful. Okay. So I'll refer to the policy contract, Danny.
No, I don't think you need to be honest. You can say that.
Okay, so
No, but what I'm
interested
saying,
in
mate.
everything I've got to say.
Pardon?
I take it you're not interested in what I've got to say about that.
Well,
I would like to go over that with you if you would be so kind as to let me do so. Yes, there are promises on our website, but there can be reasons why that has been applied, the excess, and I'd like to go over that with you.
all right. If you want to continue giving your honest intent and showing your integrity and your loyalty to your customers and the special relationship you have built up over time with me, and tell me why you're not paying my $500 excess, go for it.
Okay, brilliant. Now I'm just going to bring up the video as well, Danny. So are you all right for time?
Yes, mate. I've got all day
This may take us. Great. Awesome. Okay.
because I've got the video in front of me as well.
The first part is the policy contract. Okay? And there's two parts to waiving the excess. One, that we have the other party's details and confirm their details, because this is about establishing our legal right of recovery. The second part to waiving the excess is that we are satisfied that you have not caused or contributed to the accident.
Excellent.
Okay? Now, when I look at the video, and I'm just going to bring that up.
You sound terrible, by the way. Are you on a headset or something, or is it possible to get a clearer sounding you?
I am on a headset.
Is it
I'll just
Bluetooth?
adjust my microphone. Yeah, I'll just adjust my microphone. Is that better?
A little bit, yep. Thank you.
And I do have a stinking cold, I'm sorry. So that could be part of it as well.
I mean, don't you use some sort of loyalty? I mean, do you not care that I've been loyal with you guys for
Yes,
3 years?
It does mean a lot to us.
I
but
mean,
it's
I
not
feel like
blind
you're
loyalty.
splitting hairs by
And there
even
is a
doing this video
contract.
with me.
Okay. Well, if you don't want to discuss it, we'll end the conversation now. But I would like to discuss and explain where we're coming from, Danny.
All right, we'll carry on.
Okay. So I'm just bringing up the video. Just bear with me. Okay. Now, the video is great. It helps us. And at the start of the video, you can see 2 lanes. And eventually, those lanes go into a merge. And I'm just bringing up...
Your headphone's
I'll
terrible,
get
just
to-
saying. But anyway, all right, I can hear it.
Okay. I'll adjust my microphone and headset again. Is that any better? I'm just trying to skip the ad. No, it's not loading. Sorry, Daddy. It's just a little bit slow loading.
So
that
do you take
YouTube
into
video
consideration where he collided with my car?
Yes, we do.
And did you read,
Okay.
can you answer whether you actually read the PDF file that I gave you guys?
Yes, I did.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So, right. Let's pause it there. Okay. So, in the video, at 1 minute 22.
Yep,
I can
I'm right there
see
now.
The other car. Sorry?
I'm looking at the same video at the same timing, yes.
Great. So I've just paused it at 1:22, and it appears. Now, bear in mind, I can't identify the vehicle specifically, but I can see there's obviously he's pushing to try and get in front of you and not merge like a zip.
He had quite a lot of... now, just to cut you off there...
He's
I'm-
obviously one of these aggressive drivers that can't bear being one car space behind.
No, but he's been watching me for at least 30 seconds, waiting to merge with the lane. Is that right? So he's been watching me on the left-hand side for at least 30 seconds.
I presume so, because I can't see him watching you. All I can see is all I can comment on is what I can actually see in the video. Okay?
Well, you can see me. No, hold on a minute.
Have...
This isn't fair. You can see for about a minute that I'm a passive person driving to work in the morning, and I'm not. I even
Agreed.
stopped at the traffic lights to make sure I didn't get stuck in a red light in the middle of the intersection. And he was on my right because there's nowhere else for him other to be. So he could see that my intentions were always to merge like a zip.
Yep, and I can see that. And at 122, his front left appears just below your central binnacle.
Yes, I'm looking at exactly the
rear
same
vision
point.
mirror.
All right. And he's not in front of me there, is he?
So I can see him.
He's not in front of me,
he's
though.
Obviously wanted. At that point, I would say he's adjacent.
I disagree.
It's not accurate enough to say whether he's in front or not. I can see up until that point, you are trying to merge behind the white car like a zip.
Yeah, but he is not in front of me, so he has failed to merge.
Okay, great. And so if we roll it on.
Yep.
Okay. And I'll stop at 124.
And you were talking split seconds here that this guy's zoomed up.
Hang on.
Yep.
Okay. Because one of the things I have to, let's just roll through it. Okay.
Now, while you're doing this, I did not go over the white line.
Okay. Okay. Bear with me. All right, I'm rolling.
And don't forget, your customer was the driver, mate. Your customer was the person behind the wheel. Your customer, not the guy in the BMW.
Okay, just bear with me, okay, Danny? All right? Okay, I've paused it at 126. Okay, you can just see him. He's obviously been gunning forward, dropping back, gunning forward. He's one of these poor drivers that doesn't understand merge like a zip. If I'm being polite.
The guy that you were giving the favour to, you're talking about. Yep, all right.
Now, hang on. I'm trying to explain this, Danny, and you keep interrupting and try and push, but just bear with me, okay? All right? Okay. Now, I've paused it again at 127. Just prior to 127, you could just see the front of his vehicle to your right.
At 127?
At 127, you can still see the last lane marker.
Yes.
Okay? The central dotted line.
So at the end of the merging lane? Yep.
Yep. At 127, that shows you going to the right.
As you would at the end of a merging lane?
Okay. You can actually see that if you run that through.
I don't even know
that's...
Come
back here.
Yep. So where is he?
You actually, Danny, veer right and you go across the lane. Now.
No, I don't. Because that driver excuse me, the driver that you cannot see has fallen back and gone to merge behind me and hasn't hit me on the side of the vehicle. He's fallen back. That driver had time to toot his horn and then collide with me after the merging lane, because the collision happened after the merging lane, not in the merging lane, regardless of where I were.
Okay. When I referred back to that the requirement I refer you back to what I said earlier. We have to be sure that to try and to establish our legal right of recovery, okay, and be sure that you didn't contribute to the accident.
I did not contribute to the accident. The police said it's inconclusive. I have not been charged for anything by the police for my actions.
Okay. what I see when I roll that through,
Are you a
at the very
policeman?
last moment,
Are you a policeman?
Danny, I've been doing this for many, many years.
I'm
and I've
sure you
been to
have.
200
And I've had a few
300
car accidents, and the
dispute
insurance company
tribunals.
always doesn't look after their customers, even though your terms and conditions say that your loyalty to your customers is your foremost thing.
And our contract does provide.
How did I
When
contribute
we
to the
will
accident?
waive
How
the
did I contribute to
As
the
I said,
accident
Danny,
after the merging lane? Because the accident happened
we're not
after the
going to get
merging
anywhere
lane.
like this. You won't allow me to speak. You just keep interrupting me. I would like to try and resolve this amicably, but if you just keep interrupting me, we will get nowhere. Okay? I have heard what you said, but I am not convinced by your argument, because what I see when I roll that YouTube video through, at the very, very end of the dotted lines, you veer right. You don't stay left. You don't hold your line. Now, if I put this in front of a disputes tribunal referee, I believe that they will say you contributed to the accident, because the rule of the road is if you are going to change lanes, and effectively by veering to the right,
There's no
you
lane,
are
mate.
changing lanes.
It's at the end of the
You do veer right. You
I don't. It's
veer
at the end of
right
the merging lane.
before
There's no
the
lines
end
there.
of the merging lane. I can see it clear as a bell, Danny, from the YouTube you have provided.
There's
Now,
where the collision happened.
I'm happy.
Jeremy,
I'm
where the
happy.
conclusion happened, he could have avoided the accident. It was after the white line he collided with me. You cannot deny that.
Okay. What I can't see is what's happening behind you.
Right.
What I can
He
see,
can.
This is the point. This is the point. If I go to a disputes tribunal,
We will go to
there's going to be
dispute tribunal if we can't organise this on this phone call, mate.
And
At 1:28, you need to watch the video. In all fairness to me, because you're not watching the same video, at 1:28, you need to see that when he collides with me, he tooted first. I was already out of the merging lane, and then he collided. By the time he collided with me, he would have been outside that merging lane. You cannot deny that.
I can't see what's happening behind you. Bear that in mind. Okay?
You can, though.
What I can only go on at this point,
Mate,
no,
look,
I don't have a rear vision camera.
you don't need
All I
one
can
because
see
you can
at
see the
120
speed of the vehicle. You can see that I'm out. You can watch the white lines. You can see the white lines disappear for about a second before he hits me. That means unless we were stationary, we weren't. We were traveling at 5 miles an hour because the camera said so. And I was outside the merging lane. He had full visibility of me because he was behind me, and also where he collided the back of my bumper. So he had full visibility. There's no cars on the other side of the road, and I'm not on the yellow line. I'm well to the left. I did not contribute to this
The yellow
accident.
line doesn't, I agree, the yellow line doesn't come into it.
And that means that there was ample room for him to see. There was ample
What I
room for
do
him to
think-
see and avoid that. I did not contribute to this accident because it was a merging lane. He knew my
Well,
intentions were to merge. He didn't yield and drove his car into me. He tooted before he drove his car into me, then drove in.
Okay, Danny, I'm sorry, I'm not convinced, because what I see on your YouTube video is at the very last minute you change your line and you move to the right before the end of the lane marking.
The accident, I'm entitled to move into the middle of the lane at the end of the merging lane because that's
You've
what it's
changed
designed.
your line, Danny.
I-
You've changed your line.
Jeremy, I'm a YouTuber. And I
can see that. And I can
I'm
clearly see
currently
you
getting
changing your
sued
line.
by a guy for $3.8 million. I've got legal teams all around me. And you really want to go to small claims to go after this. Do you think, with your honest intent, going by your own mission statement on your website, your integrity is to negotiate all matters of business fairly and above with all honest intent? Do you
And
honestly
that is
believe
what
that you were
the
working
purpose
for
of
your
this
customer?
call is, Danny, just blindly agreeing to you isn't part of our mission statement, right? I'm going off the evidence you have presented, and what I see is you changing your line and going into the other lane before the lanes merge into one.
It did not consult in the accident. It did not result. My merging after the lane did not result in the accident because we were outside the merging lane when he hit me. There's no way you can deny that.
Not when what I don't have, and the evidence I don't have, and is not visible to me, I certainly agree that as you go past the separation of the lanes, and you're past that, you hear the bang.
Let's go back and watch it together in its entirety. I'm going back to 1:24 and I'm playing it in the stream, right?
I don't see there's any point in this. I'm not going to go.
Look, Jeremy,
go through the first minute and a half.
mate, look, you need to go back to 1:23 and press play and just watch it. You will see that I well passed the merging lane before he hit me. Please do that.
1:23.
1:23 and just watch it until you hear the conclusion and watch the white line and just imagine that white line travelling under my car, under his car.
Perhaps the timing on what you're seeing and what I'm seeing is slightly different.
Fair enough.
Because if I stop it at 1:23, there. Oh, no, sorry.
Go back to 1:18 if you want to, but just what I'm getting at, mate, is
let's do it 1:18. Right. 1:18.
Watch the white lines because you're discussing that this hasn't happened.
Okay. 1:18.
Yep. I'll go back too. Let's watch it together.
Okay.
Fuck off the head.
Okay.
Oh, fuck it out.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
See where you hit me?
18. Okay. At 1:18, the image that I have,
yeah,
and you may be able to explain this because you're a YouTuber, but the image I see at 1:18 is a clear line between the lanes. And I see, it looks like a Holden Barina, but it looks like it's a white car.
Yep.
You're in the left,
yep.
The white car is in the right. At that point, I cannot see the other vehicle.
Yep. Well, you don't need to see it because he hit me from behind. And
Okay.
as far as I'm concerned,
So
the vehicle, as far as I'm concerned, the vehicle that is in front in the merging lane has right of way. And I did not turn into this guy.
And you're obviously allowing him to merge, like is it the white car, right? At that
Both
point,
white cars.
At 1:18.
Because obviously I'm not even up the arse of the Holden Benina guy. I've given them enough room to get in.
No.
And I actually believe the young
agreed.
guy. I actually believe the young guy actually probably thought he'd scare me and come up right up behind me and moved into me without, because it was obvious he was on drugs. It was on something, and he probably thought I'll move in right and hard up behind him and give him a scare. And as he's done that, he's misjudged it and hit because where he's hit my car is on the very back of the wheel, and. You know, it's not like we've nudged each other. We've had a race. It's not like I've been racing him to work in the morning. I'm 53 years of age. Some 25-year-old guy comes along and all of a sudden decides to push me out of the way when I'm merging like I'm just minding my own business. And the other side of this accident...
One thing I think we're agreed on, Danny, is he is being overly aggressive. And if you want to put it this way, he's an egg. Okay? We'll be polite.
So why don't you look after your customer?
Okay, because the critical point...
The critical point is $500 that you'd been told. Come on, mate, this is ridiculous.
No, it's not, Danny. Look, I'm going to go through and pause at 1:23, okay? At 1:23, I can see you're still clearly entirely within the left lane. There's still lane markers between the two lanes. I can just see the front of his vehicle below your binnacle.
And he was never in front of me. He should have merged.
Okay.
Never once was that guy in front of me.
At that point.
Never.
We're happy at that point.
I will use no evidence saying he was ever in front of me and I should have yielded to him. You agree that this guy was an aggressive driver.
I don't disagree with that, Danny. I don't
So
disagree
when
with
you're
that.
merging,
At this point,
like a zip, you give way to the car that's in front of you. He saw that I was in front of him for a long period of time. This guy caused the accident.
Okay. At 1:26, right, you change your line. And you can clearly see to the left of the Holden, LSH 249, a line separating the lanes.
Because I was the
You
vehicle
moved to
in
the
front.
right, Danny.
Because I was the vehicle in front.
Hindsight's 2020. You've moved to the right.
He moved back. The guy in the BMW, as far as I could see in my mirrors, had moved back to let me merge like a zipper.
I don't understand why at that point you changed your line.
Because I was merging at the end of the merging lane. This isn't at the
But
start of
you're
the merging lane.
At 1:26.
There's one line left. There's one line left, and the guy had moved back. You're not listening to me.
I'll ask you again. Why did you change your line?
Because I were the one that was allowed to merge. Because he had moved back.
Your line.
He had moved
They're put
back.
in front of a referee, Danny.
I'm happy to
Put
go
in
to
front of a
referee, but I
referee
just
at
think it's a waste of time. With all my friggin' legal battle things going on at the moment, having to do this is stupid. But if you want to spend your $500 spending time in court, let's do it then.
We inevitably on this, let's just take a pause there.
What about the part where the guy smashes out my back window? Are you making me pay the excess for that as well?
No.
Pardon?
Well, I don't know, because what I don't know is when exactly that happened. Okay, but
have you not seen him smash out my back window screen?
Let's put that to the side. The damage to your rear right is where we're applying the excess. Okay.
What about the broken window where he smashed out my window with a crowbar? That's an accident, isn't it?
That's not the excess isn't being deducted from that.
Why not?
Because glass is excess free.
How do you sleep at night, mate? I mean,
I'm not gonna.
I'm sorry, mate, but this is totally unethical.
Danny.
I mean, looking at your values, your mission, your loyalty, your integrity, the quality, the reliability, the communication, all these things that are on your website.
I'd like to take a. You just want to get personal, and I'm not going to go in there.
I'm not getting personal, mate. Asking you a solid question. You're getting personal, but not paying me my 500 excess.
I'm trying to apply the contract, and I'm trying to explain to you. You have changed your line.
Well, the advertising commission might not like the words on your website because you're not working for your loyal customer at the moment, are you?
Sorry, Danny. I'm going to take a pause back, okay? Can we just step back from that particular issue for a second?
The floor is all yours, mate. You talk yourself. You carry on talking, I'll just listen. You tell me what you want to tell me, mate, and I'm listening.
Inevitably, this claim will probably end up in disputes tribunal.
Definitely.
Okay? Because we will be trying to recover from the other party.
Which you've got from the police.
The cost. Okay?
You've got the other party. The police are pressing charges. All right? So I've given you the guy.
That's not... We haven't had that confirmed from the police. We have requested the police report, and if the police report does hold the other person at fault for the accident, we will waive the excess because that is evidence enough for us.
The police have already come back and said it's inconclusive, but you have failed to make that not part of the case.
So they're not confirming one way or the other.
That's right.
Why is that, Danny?
Because they haven't arrested the other guy and heard his side of the story yet, probably.
Have they seen the YouTube video? I'm sure you've seen it.
Yeah, I've given it to them. It's all over the internet.
So why is it inconclusive? Okay. So, it could end up in disputes tribunal. Okay. My experience with disputes tribunal will focus on that change of direction
Excellent.
that you took.
Cool. My experience in court, mate, will say that I were out of the merging lane when the accident happened.
Now, what I'm doing here is I'm applying the policy contract.
Well, the policy contract
Right.
says that
Until we are convinced that you didn't contribute to the accident,
I didn't.
the excess will apply.
The accident happened after the
Well, I
merging lane.
disagree.
I did
And
not
I think
contribute to the
evidence-
guy driving his car into mine. You can
You
wish that.
changed lane, Danny. You changed your
No,
line.
when I
clearly
changed lane. No,
veered
you're
to
putting
the
words
right.
in my mouth. I was the one driving the vehicle.
No, I'm
when
watching
I
your
changed
YouTube
lanes, he
video.
had already fallen behind, showing his intent to let me in.
What happened behind you, I cannot be sure.
I was the
I
one driving the
cannot be
vehicle.
sure.
Your customer is telling you that the guy moved back. There's no denying the fact that he's not still on the side of me. There's no denying the fact that we did not collide side mirrors. He hit my back bumper of my vehicle, which shows you that he moved back.
I'm sorry, but I disagree.
Well, can't you
Okay?
see the dent in my
It
car?
to be you. I would like it to be right, but on the evidence
You
I
do
see
not
in the
look after your
YouTube
customers,
video,
protect your insurance. You treat your customers like they're pieces of shit.
No, I disagree.
Well, I'm the customer,
I've
mate.
made
I can
a
tell you
fair
that you treat me
point.
like I'm a piece of shit. See you in
Well,
small
I'm
claims
gonna end
court.
the conversation,
See you in
Danny,
small
because this
claims.
is
Get off
going
my
nowhere.
phone. You're horrible. You're horrible people. Anyway, that was my conversation with Protecta Insurance. Would you insure your car with them? I'm not going to. Now we're off to small claims court. I will do some updates in this video and you can see what happens. But that's what it's like dealing with an insurance company who don't really care about their customer. Mission statement, vision statement, our values, our loyalty, our integrity, our quality, our reliability, and the communication they have with their customers. This company was recommended to me, and look at the way they treated me after watching that video, and this is what they're doing to me. I'm driving to work, minding my own business, getting near the end of a merging lane, and someone decides to cut me off. They never got in front of me, and then after the merging bay, they drive their car into mine. And now Protecta Insurance is telling me they will not pay my excess of $500, and we're off to small claims court. Have a good day, and thanks for watching.